Well, everybody, welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs, and we are streaming more stories than ever before about the new economy or the revamped economy and how people are dealing with it, and dealing with it, we hope, successfully as people stay at work and are going to work and creating opportunities. You know, over the last couple of months, I've been very fortunate to come across our next guest, who has been doing a lot, maybe as much as anyone I know, helping people and helping organizations, nonprofit organizations, stay in business and thrive through this changing economy. I want to welcome Dina Scianna, Senior Vice President, Director of Partnerships, Cambridge Trust. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be on the show.
Thanks. And that's quite a sign behind you, even though you're blocking the middle of it. It's what it says, Cambridge Trust Cares. Is that your nonprofit support statement?
It is. It is.
So tell us. I'm sorry.
We developed that a few months back.
You know, a lot of, I was in a meeting a couple of months ago or a month ago, and a lot of CFOs were complaining about their banks. I didn't hear your name on the list, your bank. Some banks have taken sort of more of a passive approach to this change, and some banks have been much more aggressive. You've been out there. Tell us what you've been doing.
So it's always been the legacy of Cambridge Trust to be able to work with our nonprofits, to be able to work in the community. One of the things that we talk about within our company is being committed to the communities we serve. So, you know, when the pandemic hit, it was, to a certain extent, it was business as usual. We just had to figure out a way to do it a little differently. But we just wanted to make sure that our partners within the community, new and old, knew that we were there, that we cared.
Right.
So it was just a different way of trying to reach as many people as we could.
So nonprofits are part of the bank's portfolio. They actively, I guess, actively work in that whole sector, and I think it's a very critical niche right now.
Our nonprofit portfolio is pretty substantial, both on the banking side and on the wealth side, both in Massachusetts and in New Hampshire as well. So they are an important piece of our organization. They are a pillar within our overall structure.
So you've been at the bank a long time, and why don't you explain to us a little bit about your background and how you got into this whole area?
A secret. I've been a banker for almost 38 years, and I was a teller. I started as a teller, and throughout my career, worked my way up, working at different, working in retail, and then landed in the commercial space. And for a long time was a commercial lender, and that actually morphed into community development lending. So lending to nonprofits, lending to affordable housing agencies, and so forth. And over the last few years now have really focused a lot of my time and energy in building out a very robust CRA program for the bank that actually were able to knit together our nonprofit practice. It's been an extremely fulfilling job for me. I tell people all the time, any opportunity I get, whether it be internally or externally, I think I have probably the best job in the bank. There's no greater feeling than, working towards making a difference to those that you work with and those that you serve.
Well, you're sort of an entrepreneur, aren't you? You built a business within a business. Is that correct?
It is true. We talk about that a lot, within the nonprofit practice. We talk a lot, when we do team building and we talk amongst ourselves, is that everybody needs to look at what they do as if it were your own business. What can you do to be better? What could you do to serve a client or a partner better?
So what are you seeing from nonprofits today that's different than, let's say, 3 months ago? Is it a big difference? Are you hearing different stories?
I think, in some of the nonprofits that we've talked to, I sit on a couple of boards as well. I think nonprofits in particular are extremely grateful with the PPP program. It's been able to actually help them keep their staff, be able to continue to provide resources to their end user with very little interruption, right? So they're grateful. But if you look out, there's concern, right? Funding, they may be faced with some funding cuts. But I think that the challenge is going to be for a lot of nonprofits, as it was pre-COVID, is development issues. Trying to figure out how to raise financial resources, which most, if not all, nonprofits rely on. So nobody has been immune from COVID, I should say, right? So the level of support philanthropically could have an impact on them. So again, just like everybody else, I think they're just trying to figure out what to do, how to do it a little differently.
And nonprofits were organizations that also utilize the PPP program?
We were able to, at Cambridge Trust, again, we were able to process every request that we received, and we're able to process through the SBA and get them approved. And now we're reaching back out to them to help them with the forgiveness. So, collectively, the company, we were able to process just about 1,000 applications, saved approximately 20,000 jobs within the community. So very, very impressive. And again, we'll continue to work with all of our clients to make sure that we help them through the whole forgiveness piece of this. So we've only, 50% of the jobs done. The other 50 needs to happen.
So you mentioned the nonprofit. How many people in the nonprofit team, and what type of people have you accumulated?
So as you know, as you are a special guest on our team as well. So we have a team of 10, and the team of 10 is made up of different personalities, different skill levels. They come from different areas of the bank, which actually make it very special. But the one thing that they all have in common is they care. They care, they're compassionate, they understand, they want to be involved. They're extremely engaged, which, to be honest with you, makes my job a little easier, right? It's nice to be able to sit in a meeting and talk about with 10 people, and all 10 people to be engaged and be on the same page. They know exactly the true meaning of Cambridge Trust Cares. And to me, that's probably the most important piece to what we're trying to accomplish.
Everybody, we've been speaking to the one and only Dina Scianna, Senior Vice President, Director, Partnership Relationships at Cambridge Trust, working in the nonprofit area. I think still critical to our economy and continuing to keep our society going. Dina, if someone's looking for you or anyone on your team or Cambridge Trust, how would they find you?
So they can go on our website, cambridgetrust.com. There's actually a link, and it talks about our commitment to the community. They can also reach out to me at dina.scianna@cambridgetrust.com. I have no problem giving out my direct cell phone, which is 781-983-3289.
Remind everybody, Cambridge Trust Cares, and Dina Scianna, our guest, and we'll be coming back again, we hopefully in the next year, as we talk about nonprofits and how they're competing and dealing with this new economy. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you, Jeff. Take care.
Thank you very much. Remind everybody, this is Radio Entrepreneurs.